Hello everyone, this is Sandy from We Are Talk of Thailand. Today's video, I want to talk about Pattaya and how Pattaya is now and how I see the future for Pattaya. You know, it's so wonderful to have the last couple of weeks to have seen the high activity through the Thai New Year Songkran Festival and virtually 10 days of returning to the old days. Nearly, it wasn't the same, but several of the days certainly were the same. The number 13th, which is of April, which is the main Songkran day, and also the 19th of April, which is the main Pattaya day. Some of the other days were pretty quiet and not really as busy as many would have hoped it would be. But certainly the Thais were back, the Thai people were back in force. They came to Pattaya, the best resort in Thailand, without a shadow of a doubt. Easy for people to get to, close to Bangkok, close to the airports. We did see people coming in from abroad, from Europe, from other places, at extortionate airfare prices, just to come in and enjoy being here for Songkran, which is an absolute nightmare for some, but it's a hugely enjoyable experience for many others. Personally, I done one day down there. I went down there on the 18th of April, the day before the big one, and I got totally soaked, some with warm water that was straight from the taps, and other from ice cold water that was big blocks of ice floating in it and people throwing it around. Oh, it was that was hard to experience, but everybody was enjoying it. And I believe the 19th, the day after, the last day in Pattaya, was absolutely tremendous as well. From early hours in the morning right through to the late hours of the evening, everybody got a good soaking that went down to play with the water. And that's the way Pattaya is. It is coming back, but I'm going to tell you a few other aspects that are not so good. The tourist areas like that are coming in, the tourist people, Indians, Chinese, Koreans, these are all the lead nations. The fourth one is the USA, but Europe is very poorly represented in the numbers. So, and I think that's all down to really the cost of airfares. You're hard pressed to get an economy return to Pattaya now for less than £1,500, $1,800, similar €1,750, somewhere around there. It's big money to fly into Thailand just now. And looking forward is not good from Europe either. I've been looking at the prices of flights around Christmas time, around the high season. The high season starts in November. Flights are still very highly priced. I don't see them coming down, and I think that will have a very significant effect on here in Pattaya particularly. But you know, Pattaya is great. Pattaya is absolutely fantastic, and we're going to talk about that specially. So just enjoy this this drone footage I have here, and then we will move on and let's look at some of the other areas where Pattaya excels and makes it the best tourist center probably in Southeast Asia, without exception. So enjoy the video. talk about the area that is of concern at the moment for many people, and that's the bars here in Pattaya. You know, we've got hundreds and hundreds of bars in Pattaya. Many, much too many to let anybody make a big profit. Admittedly, there are a few bars that do well. The Triangle Bar in Chayapom is probably one of the best known for that. But there's a lot of bars that virtually have nobody. When COVID came to an end, there was a lot of people thought that everything was going to go back to as they knew it years ago. Well, that hasn't happened. As we see, and as I said earlier, the tourist mix coming in with Chinese, Indians and Koreans, they're not going to use the bars around Pattaya. And all these people have put a lot of money into refurbishing bars, etc. Are really wasted, mostly wasted their money, big style. They've got very, very little chance of making a profit. Areas like Soy Bacau, where we saw Tree Town being developed, Soy 7 with other bars opening there, Soy 8, people refurbishing bars. They're all struggling. They're throwing their money away. That's the problem. And it's not good. So we've been through the high season, which wasn't a very good high season. And then we've been through Songkran here. And I actually had some interesting comments about all this water throwing, which cost the bars a lot of money to get the water and the ice, etc. It transpires that those that were using the bars, while the water throwing was going on, they weren't actually making very much money in the bars because people were too engaged in what they were doing. And here we see 66 new bars being built in the centre of Pattaya. Why? I just don't understand. It's not going to make money. Please avoid them if you're thinking of making investments. So just before we move on, we're looking at a few of the many attractions here that are popular with tourists that come to Pattaya, and not only tourists but bring people down from all over Thailand, the Thai nationals as well. Let's have a look at them as I'm talking. You know, many people who contact me are looking at settling in Thailand but want something that may generate an income for them here. They ask me if I have any suggestions, and I do, and I haven't actually given them out as yet, but I will do in one of my coming videos. Obviously, I would not suggest buying a bar under any circumstances. So many people have lost their money, lost everything, including, unfortunately, they've taken another way out when they have lost everything. So please, please, please avoid them under any circumstances. So, why have I said about Pattaya is well on the mend from COVID? Well, I think the city is a long way further down the recovery route than the other holiday resorts here in Thailand, including Chiang Mai, Phuket, etc., Koh Samui. These are areas that are coming back, but they're nowhere near as advanced as Pattaya. And the reason for this is, you know, after COVID, the Thai government introduced a lot of incentives. They knew that there was problems being caused to the tourist industry and the hotel industry and all the supporting services by the pandemic. And it was a very, very serious situation. But the Thai government were clever, and they did introduce a range of incentives to encourage internal tourism using the populace of the country to visit other areas and generate income in these tourist areas. How did they do that? Well, by talking with the various authorities for roundabout and getting special rates from the many hotels in various areas that kept the hotels not busy but active and allowed them to keep some of their staff employed. Also looking at incentives for travel, bus, air, rail, etc. All these things were provided incentives for people that lived here in Thailand, including people like myself who were married to Thais, to take advantage of travel to other areas. But more so than that affected Pattaya, they've benefited a whole lot by a very proactive city council. Pattaya has had many incentives already to bring back not only the Thai tourists and holidaymakers, but to be a very attractive destination for foreigners, as I'm hoping you might be seeing right now. The Pattaya City Management Team, working with various associations in the city, maintained a regular schedule of attractive events to bring the visitors from all areas of Thailand here to Pattaya, particularly at the weekends, with such things as fireworks shows and music festivals, beauty pageants, beach sports events, marathons, and many other aspects have all proved very, very popular and have basically filled Pattaya up nearly every weekend since a lot of the restrictions were lifted, and created income for a lot of local businesses, hotels, restaurants, etc. And as stated previously, unfortunately, that wasn't so supportive of all the local bar culture, etc. Pattaya has long been known as one of the resorts in Thailand that isn't extremely expensive to visit. They've got the most affordable prices, I believe, for all the other tourist venues in Thailand. And the range of hotels come from good value accommodation right up to the high luxury levels provided by the higher end markets and provided for everyone here in Pattaya. So the future for Pattaya, well, that's the interesting thing that I think will interest a lot of people that are maybe considering coming here, settling down, retiring, etc. What is the future for Pattaya? You know, for many years Pattaya was identified as Sin City, the world's Sin City actually. For many years they've run a very active adult entertainment areas in the city. It was known as the sex capital of the world. It has also been a city that has attracted the less desirable forms of humanity and sex tourists. For some time there has been quite an ongoing campaign actually by officials and the police etc. to clean up this image, and they've done so very successfully to a great extent, and they've prohibited many of the undesirable aspects from visiting the city, and that's a great plus for Pattaya. During the shutdown we started to witness many other changes in the city. Walking Street being updated, it's a very popular tourist destination. The beaches have been widened and improved and are much better, and there's many various entertainments being rescheduled and designed. Food parks etc. with entertainment facilities and restaurants have all been thought about, and there's at least 3 of them now that are ready to get going full belt when the tourists do return. So I believe that Pattaya is really reinventing itself. The plan to make Pattaya the premium tourist resort of Thailand, and I think they're going to do that. We're still retaining obviously some viable and profitable adult entertainment facility, because it's also is famous for that, and it employs a lot of people. So they want to keep this going, but maybe they want to restrict it down to certain areas, so they can have that in addition to having a family tourist facility here in Pattaya, because there's a lot of aspects that would make Pattaya one of the world's greatest family tourist cities. I believe the adult entertainment could be contained, and is planned to be contained actually, down to maybe Soi Buakhao area, including the Freetown and Chaya Pum areas, and of course maybe the highlight being LK Metro itself. So I believe that is the city's plan. Walking Street will be continually upgraded and remain an enhanced tourist attraction, And I think that there's a lot of work going on down there. And I think there's a lot of planning that we're not aware of yet that they're going to initiate down in Walking Street also. Obviously the beaches and all the main hotel areas along the beaches, these are high visible tourist type areas that you want to make as attractive as possible for the upmarket tourists and family tourists. And they need to, there is still some work to be done there. How long it's all going to take, I think they've got a very high priority, but it will take time, that's for sure. So that is my vision for Pattaya. I think it's fairly accurate. Pattaya is certainly developing in the right way. Unfortunately, it has its consequences. The prices are going up significantly, actually. But I think we're still a cheaper place in general than Phuket and Koh Samui, etc. But the prices have crept up a lot since before COVID, and people that thinking they're coming here for an inexpensive holiday, it's not the same as before, I can assure you, and it will cost you quite a bit more, significantly more, as is in line with the price increases globally. Actually, we're seeing it everywhere. I've just been back to the UK and was shocked to see what the prices are there. So that's Pattaya, and that's the future for Pattaya as I believe it. It's still a very, very nice place to come, and if you have an interest in coming to Pattaya, if you've got any questions or queries you'd like answers for, then please put it in the comments below, and I will get back to you and help you in any way I can. Thanks again for watching, and I'm going to say bye for now.